Hi, I'm Chris from American Drainworks and Plumbing Company. We serve the greater Los Angeles area and we're there to serve you. We have special for you this month. We're giving free sewer inspections. We have a camera system now that can go in and evaluate and examine the conditions of your pipe. Today we're going to talk a little about sewers. Sewers convey water, wastewater away from homes, and oftentimes there are problems with sewers because of how the sewer changes for many different reasons. Common issues may include pipe offsets, separations, grade issues, root intrusion, cracks and breaks, tuberculite buildup, and scaling. An offset is something where the pipe actually shifts either side to side, and generally because where they're fitted together it's the weakest point. That's oftentimes where roots get into the sewer. So if you can see that, you can see, and they can become more dramatic as you move. Offsets can be up, down, or sideways, and therefore can restrict the flow of proper drainage. In this line you see a offset. An offset is like a shift. Sometimes it's settling in front of the other pipe where it joins together. In this particular case, creating pooling where the pipe has been shifted. Where pooling occurs, you see a buildup in other debris. Sometimes roots get into this space. We had some difficulty getting our camera through. Another problem that we see where and often more times discovered after the roots are cleared and a camera goes down the line, is where we see separations in the line. Separations are where there's a pulling away of the sewer. That may be because of soil erosions. It could also be because of other pressures being placed on the pipe. Separations often cause problems because now you can see there's a chasm in which the sewage has to jump across in the sewer. That allows more opportunity for root intrusion, also for soils to seep into the line, and then there's more soil erosions, therefore causing more problems with the sewer line. Okay, the next thing is about grade issues. Proper grade for a sewer line or most drains is 1/4 inch per foot in fall. The problem with sewers oftentimes are where when they're installed initially that there was improper compaction and therefore the soils are backfilled, and then there's pressure placed onto the pipe which either flattens out the grade, which means that there's not enough downhill flow to get water out of the pipe, or actually we see conditions where you see retrograde where the pipe is actually leaning backwards, requiring then the weight of water to push sewage out of the pipe. Root intrusion. Roots will come into line at different sections of the pipe, may come through cracks, separations, shifting, or offsetting. Roots are what primarily cause obstructions and will back up a line, requiring rooting or jetting. Roots can be very heavy. Sometimes what happens is the water comes down, the roots may float up while the water is in the line, but when the water leaves, the roots drop back down and then act as a catchment for debris coming down the line. Here's another root intruding into the line with separation of the pipe. A blade at the end of a cable may not necessarily clean this line. There's a difference between cleaning and clearing a line. When a sewer line is backed up, you put a cable in, it may open just enough to allow the water to leave, but the line still may remain dirty with root intrusion and prone to further backup. Depending on the type of root, also depending on the trees, root intrusion can be very aggressive. As a point of reference, cutting down a tree will not necessarily stop the roots from growing into a line. Here's an example of cracks in a pipe. Usually cracks occur where two pipes are joined within a hub. This is the weakest point in a pipe. Trees are opportunists. They sniff out water and they'll find even the tiniest of holes or cracks in a sewer where moisture leaves. They find it, they will go into that pipe and they will start to grow. So cracks and breaks occur because of seismic activity over time. Most sewer lines on the outside of the house are made of vitreous clay and therefore is brittle. Here's an example where there's an intersection of pipe. There's tremendous forces in the soil areas, possibly from roots or seismic activity. Here's an example of where the pipe has cracked and separated, where water no longer finds its way to the sewer main. Tuberculite, scale, and buildup. There are many different types of materials used in building sewer systems. The most popular nowadays is using ABS plastic, on the West Coast especially, PVC or the white pipe on the East Coast or Midwest. It can hold up to more extreme weather conditions. Clay pipe, which has been used since Roman times, and iron pipe or cast iron, and other types of steel pipe. The cast iron happens to be very rough on the inside, and sometimes what happens is because of oxygen and where moisture is present, rust occurs. The plaque that builds up from the debris going down the pipe intermingling with rust becomes a material known as tuberculite. This roughness of the surface within inside the pipe can slow down the debris that's trying to exit and drain out. This buildup can cause particular problems with lines that don't have great grade or that are trying to carry away paper where water is moving faster and therefore it accumulates more debris in the line. You must have an accessible cleanout for our camera equipment to go through in order to look at your sewer line. Call us up for a free sewer evaluation. We'll bring our camera down, we'll look at your lines, and we'll give you an honest appraisal about what can be done so that you will have roots no more. A permanent solution. American Drain Works, even when yours don't.
That's so cheesy, I love it.
It is. And it's all her fault.